This is my spring antipasto salad with fennel breadcrumbs, and I cannot talk this salad up enough. Why? Because it's everything. It's a meal in a bowl, and it makes every occasion that much more elevated. It's got a lot of ingredients, but it's not hard to make. And who doesn't love a salad that has so many different flavors and textures? It's tangy, it's salty, it's savory, it's got everything. I really hope you try this at home. I love making my quick pickled strawberries and onions because it's super versatile. I love to put it on salads. I've even been known to put them on my fish tacos, even a hamburger. It's really good. Avocado toast. And in my house, we're really big on charcuterie boards. So of course I always add it to that. So we're starting off with the onion. So I've sliced the onion in half, and now I'm making thin slices. This way it'll absorb the brine thoroughly. And I'm using a red onion. This will give the brine a really beautiful color. And believe it or not, it only needs about 15 minutes to brine. You just want it lightly brined, and it's going to make the liquid in there such a beautiful color. Okay, let's add that to our bowl, and we'll move on to the strawberries. So these are super easy to cut. What I do is I just remove the stem, just like that. And then I cut it into fours. And then I just cut one or two more cuts after that, and you're good. And just add them to your bowl. And you only need about a half a cup. Okay, so let's add the rest of the ingredients. We have some red wine vinegar, some salt, some sugar, and some thyme. I'll give it a good mix. Then we're just going to set this aside for about 15 minutes. We'll get a nice brine going, and you'll notice that your liquid turns a nice, beautiful color. You see how simple that was? So for my anchovy fennel breadcrumbs, I put a little bit of oil, about a tablespoon in the pan. Let's put this on medium heat, maybe medium low. And I'm going to add 2 anchovies. This is really going to give my breadcrumbs a lovely umami flavor. Those anchovies are going to melt right into the oil. And I'll use my spoon to press down the anchovies. Okay, now for the bread. I'm just adding some, bought a nice country loaf of white bread and just broke it up into pieces. But the beauty of making your own breadcrumbs is you can use any stale bread that you have. When it's stale, it really makes the breadcrumbs turn out really nice. It prevents clumping. So if you have some bagels, baguettes, you can use white bread, wheat, sourdough. So now we're going to add the fennel seeds. Perfect. Did you know that breadcrumbs are actually the poor man's cheese? And what I love about them is they're so versatile. I use them on almost anything. Vegetables, fish, casseroles, on my pastas, soups, salads. Just such a great thing to learn to make. And don't forget to put a sprinkle of salt on top once they're nice and browned. I love making my balsamic vinaigrette because it's so versatile. Easy to make too. So it calls for some white balsamic vinegar. You can use dark balsamic vinegar, but the dark will be much more complex, deeper flavor, and it's going to give you a different color, where the white is clear, crisper, and brighter. So let's add olive oil, and I love to use extra virgin olive oil. It's going to give you the best flavor. Okay, let's add honey. I'm using clover honey, but you can also use wildflower honey, acacia honey. You just want to look for a mild flavored honey. You want the sweetness, but not a flavor that's super overpowering, because you don't want it to overpower the vinegar. Some black pepper, and a little bit of salt, and just give it a whisk. And I use this vinaigrette on salads. You can use it over fruit. I've even used it for a marinade when I'm making chicken, pork, steak. Super yummy. And it'll last up to 3 weeks in the refrigerator. Just make sure to bring it to room temperature and mix it thoroughly before you use it. Let's have the tomatoes. I love cherry tomatoes. Okay, so now I'm going to slice my fennel bulb. I love to use a wet paper towel. It really helps anchor my mandolin. We're going to slice it very thin. Every time I have fennel bulb, I think about my grandmother. She always says it's a great palate cleanser. Okay, don't be a hero. It's never worth getting that last little bit and risking your fingers. So we're good there. I have a beautiful piece of finocchiona, which is a Tuscan salami. I love it. It's made with fennel seeds, some black pepper, and sometimes even with some Chianti wine. So I am going to cut it in 1-inch cubes. Make sure to peel the outer skin off. You'll get much better flavor that way. But if you can't find finocchiona, you can always use sopressata, you can use coppa, you can use mortadella, pepperoni. Italians know how to make their cured meats. There we go. This is the queen of the salads. When you bring this dish, everybody's going to be so excited. And you don't have to save it for a special occasion because there's so many ingredients in this salad, it's almost a one-pot meal. Well, let's put it together. Let's start with our lettuce. I have some frisee, some green leafy, some radicchio. I love radicchio. It adds such great color. Just imagine bringing this for like a picnic or a potluck, a barbecue. I promise you'll be invited back next year. There we go. Let's add our tomatoes. It's just so colorful. Here we have our fennel. Even my puppies like this salad. Snow peas. Some asparagus. And I've blanched the asparagus and the snow peas. Some marinated artichoke hearts. And what's fun about this salad is if you love roasted red peppers, add them in. If you love sun-dried tomatoes, pepperoncinis, those briny marinated vegetables go really well in this salad. Broccoli, cauliflower. Okay, so I've got provolone cheese. Provolone's my favorite. Our Tuscan salami. See, we tied in that fennel flavor with the fennel seeds and the salami, as well as the fresh fennel. Just has such a refreshing taste. These are Castelvetrano olives. If you don't have that brand, don't worry about it. Just use a nice, mild, buttery green olive, such as Picholine. Let's add some black olives. Just so many different colors. I've got some toasted walnuts. For some crunch and flavor. Let's add our brine. We've got our strawberries and onions. This salad is magnificent. This is one of those dishes that you bring that you should just bring copies of the recipe with you because you know everybody's going to ask you for it. Okay, and even add a little bit of that brine in there. Okay, now for the breadcrumbs. Remember, this adds a nice umami flavor. And now for the salad dressing. Give it a good whisk. And just evenly dress your salad. This is just so much love in a bowl. Let's give it a mix. This is the queen of all the salads that I make. This is everything. It's so extra, it's delicious, it's beautiful. And I love this when I'm serving a barbecue. I'll even serve this with pasta, lasagna. You could serve it with almost anything. It's super delicious. And I love the medley of vegetables because I just think we can never eat enough. Okay, I'm ready to serve to my family and friends. I'm gonna toss a few pieces of basil on there. Oops, they're calling my name. Here I go.